absolutely love it. Hi booktube, it's Marianne at your last book, and today we are looking at my TBR for June 2021. I cannot believe it is going to be June already. That is wild. Like, where did the year go? It's flew in, so yeah, bit shook at that. So I am not going to talk too much. We're just going to look at the books. We've got some new releases, we've got some series that I'm continuing, so let's just go. So the first book I'm really looking forward to getting to is Neon Gods by Katie Robert. This one is a modern Hades and Persephone retelling. Persephone is sick of all the drama and bullshit happening in the city of Olympus, so she decides that she's going to escape. But then her mum springs a surprise engagement upon her and is like, look, you're going to marry Zeus, that's how it is, deal with it. So she escapes and makes a deal with Hades to avoid marrying Zeus, and this also presents Hades with a revenge opportunity, so win-win. And they end up developing feelings for each other, sparks fly, and he introduces her to the world of kink, and yeah, I am buzzing for this. My body is ready, let's go, let's get it done, so yeah. So the next book I'll be reading, again, is one I've been looking forward to for a while, and it's The Hellions Waltz by Olivia Waite. And this is the third book in the Feminine Pursuit series, which is a series that I am absolutely in love with. This one tells the story of Sophie and Madeline, Sophie or Madeline, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So Sophie is the daughter of a piano salesman or piano maker, and they lose their shop in London, and they decide to move to Carrisford, where it's a kind of quieter life and they're just gonna, like, you know, live. Madeline is a silk weaver, and Sophie and her meet. Sophie does not like criminals and thieves and stuff, obviously due to her life experience with her dad losing his shop. And it turns out that Madeline is actually more of a kind of, and it turns out Madeline's part of this group who are going to perform this grand heist. But they end up developing feelings for each other, falling in love, all of that thing. So Sophie's left with this decision, look, what am I going to let rule me, my heart or my principles? The next one is another one I've been really looking forward to that I've got in pre-order, and that is Sex Venom by Penelope Douglas, and this is a female-female bully romance. I don't normally like bully romances, but I think because it's a female-female and not a male-female, I will be cool with it. So the two main characters are Clay and give me a sec. Olivia. Her name's Olivia. So Clay is sort of very good girl type. She doesn't want to get into trouble. She is a virgin. She is viewing herself as chaste, but she has some sapphic desires, and she leaves herself to believe that she's still going to be pure and innocent if she is consorting with females and not men. And you know, that's not how it works. Olivia is kind of more of the rough kind of, Olivia is more of the kind of rough and ready type. The people that Clay goes about with are very stuck up and they kind of aren't very nice to Olivia, but Olivia is kind of interested in Clay as well, and I think her plan is just to ruin her. So I can really get behind that. Really looking forward to it. I don't think I've read a female-female Penelope Douglas. I don't know if she has any more, and I've just missed them. So super excited because I'm a sucker for sapphic romance, so here we go. The next book I'll be reading is Barbarian Alien by Ruby Dixon, and this is the second book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. So it's basically following the same plot, I believe, of the 12 women that have been stranded on this planet and are subsequently seduced by aliens. But this time it is Liz, and I don't know how you pronounce it, but it looks like Rahosh. So that's what we're going with. I don't know anything else about it apart from that. I'm just hoping that I assume that the stories are going to follow the same sort of premise where the heroines have to form the symbiotic relationships with the aliens. I just hope that they're not all very samey, because I don't think I could continue the series if everything's just going to be exactly the same the whole way through, you know? The next book I'm planning on reading is the Happy Ever After playlist, and this one is about Sloane and Jason. So Sloane has recently lost her fiance and randomly finds a little dog called Tucker. She contacts the owner, but the owner isn't responding, so she's just like, right, well, I guess I've got a dog now. But then the owner, Jason, who is a musician and is touring in Australia, he contacts her back via text and is like, look, this is my dog, I would like him back. And their relationship develops via text. So I love a romance where there's a correspondence element involved in it, and then obviously they're going to have to end up meeting up face to face because they have to do the exchange of the dog. So thinking this is going to be a cute one, thinking I'm going to enjoy it, thinking it is going to be a fun time. The next book is another one I'm really looking forward to, and that is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the third book in the Brown Sisters series, and you know I 5-starred the first two books, so I've got really high expectations for this one. This one's based around Eve, who I believe is the youngest of the Brown sisters, and she is on the autistic spectrum, and her family are just like, look, you're gonna have to kind of grow up and have a life. And she ends up applying to work in a bed and breakfast as a chef or a chef's assistant, and while she is there she meets the bed and breakfast owner, whose name is Jacob, who is very uptight, complete polar opposites. The two of them are complete polar opposites. She ends up hitting him with her car. He ends up with a broken arm, and she ends up working in the bed and breakfast and kind of being around him all the time. So I think it's going to be a kind of hate to love, forced proximity workplace romance, and I love that. So love it, love all of it. It's going to be a good time. The next book I'm hoping to get to is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas, and this is the third book. And this is the third book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and this picks up where A Court of Mist and Fury ends. And just in case you're one of the very few people alive on the planet that haven't read these books already, I can't tell you kind of what the plot of this is, because it kind of gives away the end of A Court of Mist and Fury. So just trust me when I say that I'm going to be reading this. Yeah. Then I am hoping to read Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. Yes, it is a Christmas romance. Yes, we are heading into summer. No, I don't care. So this one is based around the characters of Vivian and Malcolm. Vivian is currently in the UK because her daughter is styling a member of the royal family. Vivian meets Malcolm, who is a private secretary. The two of them hit it off. But the issue here being she's going to have to go back to New York, and is the love going to be enough to keep her in the UK, or is the love going to be enough to make Malcolm move to New York? Who the hell knows? Obviously the people that have already read this, but yeah, looking forward to that. Can't wait, gonna be a vibe. The next book that I am desperate to get to is Priest by Sarah Simone. Now, I don't know why I put off reading this for so long, because I've had it there to read on Audible and then just keep forgetting about it. So this one is the story of Tyler and Poppy. So Tyler is a priest. I believe he's been a priest for about 3 to 5 years, something like that. He's been celibate. He's a virgin hero. And he meets Poppy during a confession, and the two of them hit it off. Poppy is the kind of like wealthy, educated, standard kind of socialite type, but I think that he ends up misjudging her or something like that. Obviously you have the taboo element of the fact that he is a priest, so maybe avoid it if you don't like religious themes in your books, but that's not an issue for me, so it's going to be a good time. The second last book that I'm hoping to get to in June is Up in the Treehouse by K.K. Allen, and this one is a friends to lovers romance. So we have Gavin and Chloe, who were best friends, and then there's some sort of tragedy happens and they don't see each other for 4 years. Then they meet again and they both have secrets, they both have trauma, but they end up falling in love. It just seems like the sort of book I'm going to end up crying at. So, yeah. And the last book I have on my priority list for June is Girl Gone Viral by Alicia Rai, and this is the second book in the Modern Love series. Now, I wasn't fully sold on the first one, but I am a tripper and I will continue the series because I've seen people say that the second one is better than the first one. So this one is based around the characters of Katrina and Jazz. So Katrina is an ex-supermodel who's trying to live like a kind of really low-profile lifestyle, but unfortunately goes viral when she is caught talking, when she is photographed talking to some guy in a cafe. So I think it's going to be the kind of Take a Hint Danny Brown situation where just a chance photo gets put in the internet and then just changes everybody's life. So after this happens, there's a bit of kind of attention put on her, and to avoid that, her bodyguard Jazz decides to take her away to his family's home to kind of stash her away, keep her safe, make sure she's happy. But she has had a bit of a thing for Jazz anyway, so the forced proximity situation, bodyguard romance, they love it. So yeah, those are the books that I'm going to be hopefully reading in June. I don't know what's going to happen. I'll be going back to work, so I don't know if I'll get all of these read. I'm hoping that I do. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. I hope it's not the end of the world. I know that there is a romance readathon coming up, there's a mafia romance readathon coming up, so it depends on the kind of work schedule situation if I'm going to be able to take part or not. So fingers crossed that we can continue taking part in the readathons. But I will update on that situation at some point throughout the month. So any important links will be in the description box. All of my social media information is in the description box. I am now on TikTok. Come and follow me. It's a good time. It's going to be a vibe. So stay safe, happy reading, and I'll speak to you later. Bye!